Hey there, fellow taxpayers. Welcome to Taxland, where we make the seemingly dull world of taxes a bit more colorful and engaging. Let's face it, taxes aren't exactly a barrel of laughs. Most of us dread tax season, and the thought of dealing with numbers and forms can be overwhelming. They're about as much fun as a root canal, right? The stress, the confusion, the endless paperwork, it can feel like a never-ending nightmare. But hold on, what if I told you that understanding the basics of tax accounting doesn't have to be a snooze fest? Imagine a world where taxes are not just tolerable, but actually interesting. We're about to embark on a whirlwind tour of tax accounting, and trust me, we'll be keeping things light and breezy. Picture this as a fun hike through the forest of tax laws, where each step brings you closer to mastering the essentials. We'll ditch the jargon and replace it with plain English. No more feeling lost in a sea of technical terms. We'll break it down so that even your grandma could understand it. Think of this as your crash course in taxes, minus the boring lectures and complicated formulas. We'll use real-life examples and relatable scenarios to make everything crystal clear. Ready to dive in? Let's go. Together, we'll explore the ins and outs of tax accounting, and by the end of this journey, you'll feel confident and empowered to tackle your taxes head-on. So, grab your metaphorical hiking boots and let's embark on this adventure together. First things first, what exactly is tax accounting? It's a term that might sound a bit intimidating at first, but don't worry. We're here to break it down for you in the simplest way possible. In a nutshell, it's all about keeping track of your income and expenses so you can pay your fair share of taxes. Think of it as a financial diary, where you jot down every penny you earn and every penny you spend. This way, when tax season rolls around, you're not scrambling to find receipts or remember what you spent on that business lunch 6 months ago. It's like balancing your checkbook, but instead of making sure you don't overdraw, you're making sure you don't overpay or underpay Uncle Sam. Imagine walking a tightrope. You need to maintain that perfect balance to avoid falling off. In the same way, tax accounting helps you stay balanced financially, ensuring you meet your tax obligations without giving away more than necessary. Now, before you start yawning, let's spice things up with a classic tax joke. Because who said taxes have to be boring? A little humor can go a long way in making even the driest subjects more palatable. Why did the tax collector get lost in the woods? It's a question that might make you chuckle, and it's a great way to lighten the mood when talking about something as serious as taxes. Because he took the wrong deductions. Get it? Deductions? Taxes? It's a play on words that brings a bit of levity to the topic. And let's be honest, we could all use a good laugh when dealing with taxes. Okay, maybe it's a dad joke, but hey, we're all about keeping things fun here. After all, understanding tax accounting doesn't have to be a tedious task. With the right approach, it can be straightforward and even enjoyable. So let's dive deeper into the world of tax accounting and discover how you can master it without losing your sense of humor. Meet John, your average Joe. He works a 9 to 5, enjoys a good pizza, and loves spending time outdoors. Whether it's a sunny day in the park or a cozy evening at home, John knows how to make the most of his time. But like everyone else, John has responsibilities, and yes, even he has to file taxes. It's one of those tasks that no one looks forward to, but it's a part of life. Let's break down John's tax journey into bite-sized steps. It might seem daunting at first, but with a little organization, it becomes manageable. First, John gathers all his income information, like his W-2 from his job. This is the foundation of his tax return, much like the base of a pizza. Think of this as collecting all the ingredients for a delicious tax recipe. Each document is a crucial component, just like each ingredient in a recipe. Next, he looks for any deductions he can take. These deductions are like the spices and toppings that make the pizza even better. These are like discounts on your taxes. They can significantly reduce the amount you owe, making the whole process a bit more palatable. Finally, he calculates his taxable income, the amount he actually has to pay taxes on. This step is like putting the pizza in the oven and waiting for it to bake. Don't worry, John. We've all been there. It's a process that everyone goes through, and it's perfectly normal to feel a bit overwhelmed. It's like trying to solve a puzzle, but with numbers instead of colorful pieces. Each step brings you closer to the final picture, and once it's done, there's a sense of accomplishment. After all the hard work, John can finally relax and enjoy his day. He takes a moment to appreciate the beauty around him, knowing that he's taken care of his responsibilities. He meets up with friends, plays a game of frisbee, and shares a few laughs. It's these simple pleasures that make life enjoyable. As the day comes to an end, John watches the sunset, feeling content. It's been a productive day and he's ready to take on whatever comes next. He heads home knowing that he's balanced work and play, responsibilities and relaxation. It's all part of a day in the life of John. As he turns off the lights and gets into bed, John feels a sense of satisfaction. Tomorrow is a new day, and he's ready for whatever it brings. Good night, John. You've earned your rest. Now let's meet Sarah, a small business owner with a knack for baking the most amazing cupcakes you've ever tasted. Running a business is no cakewalk, especially when it comes to taxes. Sarah has to wear many hats: baker, marketer, and yes, even amateur accountant. She keeps track of all her business income and expenses, from the cost of flour and sugar to the rent for her bakery. It's like juggling cupcakes while balancing a checkbook on her nose. But hey, at least she gets to enjoy some leftover cupcakes at the end of the day. Section 5. Decoding tax jargon. It's not rocket science. Tax forms are notorious for their confusing language and cryptic abbreviations. But fear not, we're about to demystify some common tax terms. First up, deductions. Think of these as your secret weapon against a hefty tax bill. They lower your taxable income, which means you pay less tax. Next, we have credits, which are like instant discounts on your taxes. It's like finding a $20 bill in your old jeans, always a good thing. Section 6. Tax Season Survival Guide. Tips and tricks. Tax season. Those dreaded words can send shivers down anyone's spine. But it doesn't have to be a nightmare. With a little planning and a dash of humor, you can conquer your taxes without breaking a sweat. First and foremost, get organized. Gather all your documents, from W-2s to receipts. Think of it as spring cleaning for your finances. Next, set aside some dedicated time to tackle your taxes. Pro tip: brew a pot of coffee and put on some relaxing music. Section 7. The funny side of taxes, laugh your way to savings. Let's be real, taxes aren't exactly the most hilarious topic in the world, but sometimes all you can do is laugh. So to lighten the mood, here's another tax joke for you. Why did the accountant break up with the calculator? Because he felt like he was just adding to his problems. See, taxes can be funny. Okay, maybe not laugh out loud funny, but we'll take what we can get. Remember, a little humor can go a long way in making tax season a bit more bearable. Section 8. That's a wrap. Congratulations. You've made it to the end of our whirlwind tour of tax accounting. We've covered the basics, demystified some jargon, and even shared a few laughs along the way. Remember, taxes are a part of life, but they don't have to be a burden. With a little knowledge and a positive attitude, you can conquer tax season like a pro. And hey, if all else fails, there's always chocolate. Happy filing.